viewers, and thanks for joining us on another edition of Health Options. Indigenous people all over the world, including Africans, treated common diseases and ailments using medicinal plants in their traditional practices. Hence, the designation indigenous medicine or medicine of the people. The African region, like Asia and South America, is blessed with countless plant species, many with already known medicinal properties, while others are yet to be discovered. Findings indicate that sub-Saharan Africa is home to over 50,000 species of medicinal plants, out of which 8,000 are found in Nigeria. The recognition of free healthcare systems by the World Health Organization, comprising conventional, traditional and complementary, got African leaders on their feet, as a summit of African heads of state therefore declared the decade of promotion of traditional medicine from 2001 to 2010, which was later extended in the WHO strategy spanning through 2014 to 2023. African nations were urged to develop, promote, produce and integrate traditional medicine into mainstream health systems. The renewed impetus on the local manufacturing of African traditional medicine products in the region, particularly where Nigeria is concerned, is what Health Options is taking a look at on this edition of the program. In view of the wake-up call towards manufacturing of African traditional medicine products in Africa, Nature's Corner would take a peep into some of such products begging for attention back home at the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development, NIPRID. Oral hygiene is a process to avoid dental implants and casualties. Don't miss out on our health tips on oral hygiene. This is Health Options, and before we get down to our discussion on the wake-up call on local manufacturing of African traditional medicines products in the African region, we take this report by Chimdemma into BC.
Africa, just like Asia and South America, has abundant medicinal plants, with sub-Saharan Africa alone accounting for 50,000 species of these fruits, roots, herbs and crops used in formulating products for treating wide range of diseases. In fact, 25 to 45% of pharmaceutical products are extracted from medicinal plants. Abdul Malik is among the 70 to 80% of the world's population said to be using traditional medicine. He attests to its potency.
I have used it on other issues like typhoid. I used to take lemongrass and it has worked.
Beyond health maintenance, traditional medicine has potential for agricultural and economic revolution.
Apart from using them as food, we can also make them into medicine and export them. It can generate a lot of employment. Prop up the coming up of so many industries. So if Nigeria has that, we are talking of diversification. And we will be respected in the Committee of Nations.
Countries like China and India are taking advantage of these prospects and have developed medical products which are in high demand world over, thereby increasing their foreign earnings. Taking it a step further, these countries have incorporated traditional medicine in their mainstream healthcare. It's on record, though, that Nigeria has more than 8,000 species of medicinal flora and fauna, leaving health experts wondering why a country with such potential is still importing medicines, with medical tourism at its peak, in the face of high disease burden and low local manufacturing. Traditional medicine practitioners say challenges in production are their limitation.
We don't have enough manpower, marketing, the machineries, standardization and regulations. The requirement, the regulation in NAFTA give to our people are too expensive. We want to establish a botanical garden.
Scaling up local manufacturing is key to contributing to achieving universal health coverage and the sustainable development goals, which includes access to serve effective, quality, and affordable essential medicines for all.
Government shall support research and create liaison with those traditional healers with a head start in the knowledge of these plants to develop, formulate, and commercialize research findings into pharmaceutical, medicinal products.
There are also issues of unfounded claims of one product having potency to cure many ailments, protection of intellectual property, patenting already manufactured products for commercial production, and incorporation of traditional medicine practice into conventional healthcare system.
Many thanks, Chimdin for that background report. With me in the studio to take us through the discussion is Zainab Ujudud Sharif. She is the head of Traditional, Complementary and Alternative Medicine Department, Federal Ministry of Health. Welcome to Health Options. Hi, Zainab.
It's a pleasure to be here, Rabi.
It's really good to have you.
Yeah,
I'm so delighted that we're talking traditional medicine,
yes.
which the whole world is, talking about. That is just the way to go.
Yeah.
And talking, looking at it in that perspective, we know that Nigeria, as a country, has a very high, huge disease burden.
Yes.
Okay, and we know that medicine sufficiency is a security issue.
Sure.
So can you take it up from there?
Security issue in the sense that you do not have to rely entirely on importation of those drugs and raw materials. You must make concerted efforts locally to produce locally, to look locally, and to develop locally, and to research locally. All over the world, especially countries that you see now, like China, India, they did what we called domestic research, applied research, in line with what they have in their own environment. After looking at that domestic research to apply for the benefit of their own people, they now apply to international research. And that international research, of course, will require international standards. But what is more important, like in Nigeria now, like you have just said at the opening of this program,
yes.
the option,
yes.
We have seen that the African leaders politically have taken that strong political will, that we know we are blessed. We used to treat our diseases with our people. There were no foreign doctors. There was no orthodox. So why were we treating our people and where they were getting positive results? Before the coming of conventional medicine, which is just about 70 years ago. Let me just say less than 70 years ago. So any adult that is less than 70 years must have been treated with traditional medicines. What do we need to do? And what is the importance of collaboration? And especially, you have mentioned, NIPRID has been able to research into some of these products. And one of these products is the Niprisan. Do you know the story of Niprisan? A traditional medicine healer decided to reveal the formula, not bearing in mind the intellectual property rights, the royalty that it deserved, to give this formula to NIPRID. And NIPRID subjected the formula to analysis and research. And finally, what is the end of this product? Niprisan. We should have more of such products. We should have more of such products coming from Nigeria. Let me give you a case in time. If you look at Ayurvedic medicine, wherever you go, the word Ayurveda, once it is mentioned, you know it's Indian health system or Indian traditional medicine. In that Indian traditional medicine, they have been able to come out with products in terms of herbal drugs, phytomedicines, and are further researching into what we now call the synthetic drugs from those products, because it's a value chain, like I said, that people need to understand at what stage do you go into drug discovery along the value chain. You can go into herbal medicines, which we know as the crude forms of combination of using the parts of the plant, whether the leaves or the seeds to come up with a formula. And that crude form is called herbal medicine. But when you go further to process it, for example, into, for example, you use active ingredient to extract, when we call the standardized extract of the crude drugs, then you now have what we call either phytomedicines. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Or you now look at the aspect of if it is therapeutic food, you now have nutritional supplements or functional foods.
That reminds me, Hajia. We once had a company called the Nigerian Medicinal Plant Development Company.
Yeah, which I was the MD.
So what happened? Isn't such a company supposed to be closing some of this, these existing gaps?
We did a lot. We did a lot in trying to promote the commercialization, in domestication.
Yeah,
the
botany business.
The anti-malaria plant, which we call the Artemisia annua. We were able to domesticate that plant in Nigeria to prove that that plant can be grown. So it can be locally sourced as a raw material to go to the next stage. And the next stage was extraction process. And we needed a transfer of technology or sale of technology, of which we were to get the Chinese to do that. But typical, we could not go further with them. I will believe because of political reasons and other reasons. Because when you are able to go into the next stage, how will you buy their products? But however, there is that strong reawakening now to be able to take that program to the next level. And the Minister of Health is very much interested, and the Permanent Secretary is working towards how we can now reawaken that project for the benefit of our people, especially Africans.
That renewed impetus was even led to the creation of a department, at the Federal Ministry of Health, which you had.
Yes.
Can you just let us into some of those strategies you are bringing to bear to make the difference that we all yearn for?
Great. With the introduction of the first ever department in the Ministry of Health, it gives an opportunity for us to look at the processes and the strategies to integrate traditional medicine into the healthcare delivery system. That means in area of practice, how are you going to collaborate with the practitioners, with their knowledge, at a close collaboration, so that we can get that opportunity to train them and be able to synergize with them and be able to have that intellectual aspect, to be able to knowledge sharing and information sharing, so that we can go further to discover more drugs. And the aspect of complementary, we cannot say, like you have earlier mentioned, there are 3 health systems. Complementary medicine, once your traditional medicine leaves your domain, it becomes complementary medicine in another domain. So that means TM is equal to CAM, like we said. Traditional medicine is equal to complementary medicine. The two are intertwined, and they are needed. So that means with this department now, the business of acupuncture, which is part of our complementary medicine, the homeopathy, aromatherapy, will now be practiced. And then there will be a wider scope for health. If we are going to achieve universal health coverage, opportunities must be given for these 3 healthcare systems to practice. In the Ministry of Health, we are now looking at collaborating with the Chinese. We talk about the Red Belt, and I'm glad that our president just went to China and is back. We know that aspect of collaboration is there in the aspect of collaborating with them to establish what we called hospitals that are of complementary hospitals, whereby the patient has the opportunity. Are you interested in the orthodox way? Fine, you go and see the orthodox doctor. But if you want complementary medicine or traditional medicine, you have the opportunity. Rabi, you can imagine with this opportunity, diverse opportunity, healthcare will be expanded and there will be more service delivery. And this is what we call integrative medicine, for goodness sake.
Wow.
We need to go that way. It's an holistic approach. Where necessary, I give you, for example, in surgery in some countries, after the surgery by the orthodox doctor, acupuncture comes in to relieve pain. You can see integrative medicine. Yes. And then in terms of taking these drugs, some nutritional supplements are given to support the immune system and to facilitate the healing process. You must know, and I keep on saying, 40% of our orthodox drugs are from plant origin. When they are subjected to chemical analysis, you get the drugs. And these drugs are chemicals, they are synthetic. What we need to do is that the long-term adverse, both synthetic and even some herbal medicines, they have side effects. But what we need to do, how do you complement both so that you get maximum health benefits, especially in the management of chronic diseases?
Yeah. Thank you. On a final note, I'm really concerned about, the reservation some people have, and talking about standardization now. So what are we going to do differently?
I want clearly for the viewers to know that synthetic drugs are different from herbal drugs. Hence, the system of standardization are different, and the system of dosage are different. If you go detailed into the analysis of synthetic drugs, you have no option than to standardize and give dosage. But the herbal drugs, they are less corrosive than the synthetic drugs. You as a being have a what we called symbiotic relationship with the plants. So the plants welcomes you easily into your body as compared to the chemical drugs, because you give out what they want and you take in what they give out. What do they give out? Oxygen. What do you give out? Carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is needed for photosynthesis of the plants.
But overdose of such could equally be harmful, I don't know.
Let me tell you the popular quote.
Yes.
For everything can be poisonous if the dosage is not recognized. Whether it is orthodox, whether it is water, whatever you do, an overdose or not using it correctly can lead to overdose or toxicity.
Okay, thank you so much, for joining us on Health Options. We hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.
All right. Nipricin, the only anti-sickly herbal remedy in the world, emanated from niprid, and sickle cell sufferers have been benefiting from the product to some extent. What you may not know, however, is the fact that the Institute has also for a long time researched and produced products lying on the shelf begging for attention. We take you on a trip to niprid for a glance at the products.
This product is a product developed from an indigenous plant in our own environment, for local help in our environment. It is used in the treatment of fungal infection. At the level of the National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development and the Nigerian Association of Pharmacists in Academia, we have got to the level that it is not a big deal for us to develop products from these plants that are available in our own environment. So it's just little resources and enabling environment that is needed from government to support the academia, so that we can come up with products for the industry to go into commercial production, and this will be available for our people. This product is an immune booster. So people who have HIV/AIDS, we are able to come up with products that can help in ensuring the longevity of life of these people. So this boosts their immunity, and this has undergone modern science and technology, for development of this product. We have a key product, in fact, that was supported by the World Health Organization to its full development. This is for malaria treatment. In just 5 days, this product that is 100% from plants is taken and malaria is gone. It competes effectively with the known anti-malarials that are in our environment today, and it's from plants within our environment. Countries begin to move only when they prioritize research and development. Otherwise, you will continue to be a market for other countries that are serious with research and development. Because when they do their own research and development, they come up with products like this, then they send it to you, you begin to buy. You are their market. Why don't we harness our own so that other countries can be our market? Will it not be surprising for anyone to also hear that even Ebola virus disease, that is a deadly disease today that we are talking about, we have been able to come up with a product for it. All that we need to do is simple. Ensure that the scientists in this area of study are encouraged. And we have said this over and over again. This is niprid oil. We call it niprid oil. If you go to pharmacies, you will see a lot of oil, but there are so many oil that are used as nasal decongestants. None of it competes with this oil that we got from our own local herb plants from the back of our homes. In 10 to 15 minutes, all type of pains that you have, this oil rub on it, you get relief. You have nasal congestion in the next 5 to 10 minutes, your nasal congestion is relieved and you begin to breathe freely, So it is used both for anti-inflammation and for, for decongestion of congested nasal area. The faculties of pharmacy or the research institute do not have the capacity to go into commercial production to get these drugs or pharmaceutical products available to the entire community. No. The people that have the capacity are the pharmaceutical industries. We need to encourage the pharmaceutical industries to pick up this. Government therefore needs to do something about importation of finished products. Anything that we can produce in our country, we do not need to import them, because we have to take it, and it's going to be very difficult, it's going to be very painful. And countries that survive today, that are at the level of self-reliance in local drug production today, they took these decisions. It is decision you have to take for national interest. It is decision you have to take for national security. Because if you do not produce your own drugs and you wait for others to produce drugs and ship to your country, you do not know what they are sending to you. The resources, the natural products in our environment are enough to solve our own problems. All that we need is the political will, the creation of enabling environment, prioritization of research and development, making research and development into traditional medicine, into herbal medicine, what we call phytomedicine, a priority in our own country. When we do that, we will be self-sufficient.
Time now to take our health tips on oral hygiene.
The basic things that are required in oral hygiene are toothbrushing, flushing of our teeth, and dietary advice. When we are talking about toothbrushing, you need toothpaste, you need toothbrush. Your toothpaste must contain fluoride, depend on your taste. When we talk about the toothbrush, it must be medium grade, unless you are a chronic smoker. When you want to brush, you can divide the part of your teeth into 3, like upper one, you can divide it into 3 regions. When you angulate your toothbrush at angle 45 from the gum level, you go down like this, you go down like this, about 4 strokes, you move to another region, you do it the same way from the upper jaw, you go from the gum level at angle 45, you go down about 3 or 4 strokes, you go to the other side the same way. But the lower one from down up, where the upper one from up down. So the lower one you go from like this from the gum up, 1, 2, 3. You move to another region. You do the same thing. So you open the mouth now completely. You have to brush. You must ensure you brush all the surface of the teeth, both the grinding surface and inner part of the teeth. And lastly, to prevent mouth odor, you have to brush your tongue very well, and you rinse your mouth with water after brushing. It's compulsory that you must brush twice in a day. Even with the brushing at night is more important than the one in the morning, because when you are asleep, all the activity of the body goes down, and most of the activity of bacteria usually take place at night. Apart from that, you have to see your dentist twice in a year for dental checkup and for professional cleaning. We call it scaling and polishing. We have therapists in the dental clinic that will help you to clean your teeth, because there are some areas you may not be able to clean properly, because most of the dental problems, they do not start with pain. It's when the situation is now getting worse that most of the you start feeling it. Apart from the issue of brushing, we also have something we call dental floss. We need to floss our teeth twice in a day. That one clean in between the teeth. The third aspect is dietary advice. That one is very, very important, because what really causes tooth decay is too much of sugary thing, and the frequency and the consistency of that sugary thing are the major issue there. Mouthwash is also very important, because all those areas your toothbrush cannot go in. The mouthwash can go inside it. It's also reduce the plaque accumulation, that is accumulation of germs on the teeth, to reduce it. The only problem, if you are using it for too long, it may alter your taste. And it's not also proper for you to just change your toothpaste or mouthwash from one to another. You have to consult your dentist or a professional before you do we do that. The mouth odor is majorly caused by poor oral hygiene, though there are some other causes that can lead to poor mouth odor, like if you have too much blood sugar that is not controlled, if you have caries in your mouth, if you have gum disease, if you have issue or problem of indigestion. So they need to see a professional for advice in that area. The only thing that causes problem in children's teeth is why a child is living in an area that the water contains a lot of fluoride. That one will cause discoloration of teeth. Or if the mother is pregnant and the mother started taking some drug, the mother didn't visit an appropriate professional for medication, maybe she's too stooling, she started taking tetracycline, that one can cause discoloration of the teeth in the children. When the baby is still inside the womb, after birth, when the teeth start coming out, the teeth may affect the color of the teeth. Before they celebrate with their 1-year birthday, they need to visit a dentist.
As we wrap up this week's edition of Health Options, it will interest you to know that the global herbal medicine market projection is $7 trillion by the year 2050, dominated by China, India, US, UK, and Thailand. Nigeria is not only rich in flora and fauna, but blessed with potentials to utilize natural resources for health, nutritional, and economic benefits. You can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of these and other episodes. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. My name is Rabi Abdallah. Thanks for watching.